Hey everybody, hey traders, Chris Pulver here. Welcome back to another installment of my Trading 101, How to Use a Broker Platform playlist. In this video, let's walk through Charles Schwab. We have two primary platforms I'll be showing today, the web-based platform, as well as their more control panel platform, which is Street Smart Edge. So I'll be going through both of those, showing how to navigate the platforms, where to trade stocks, where to manage stocks, where to look at options chains, how to find your option trades, how to set them up, so on and so forth. Looking forward to doing that. Once we get into the charts, we understand there's risk in trading. Please and always use trade capital only. Do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Doesn't matter if you're trading stocks, options, futures, forex, cryptocurrencies, whatever the asset class is, you understand the risk in trading. If you'd like to learn more about trading and education, check out my Keep It Serious Simple video series where it's designed for any trader in any ability level in any financial market, and I'm helping traders be more consistently profitable. So let's get to it. Let's start with the Charles Schwab. This is my web platform, so I'm going into the client portal here. You can just simply access it by Charles Schwab. And if you're interested in signing up for an account, it is schwab.com. I'm not here to solicit. I'm not saying that they're the best broker, but I personally do have an account with Charles Schwab, and I really, really like it. I think the platforms are awesome, really easy to use, and most importantly for me is easy to manage. So if I go back into the client portal, I'm actually going to walk you through a trade that we just set up today in my Equities on Demand class. We're doing an earnings play. It is on Anthem Inc. That is ANTM. And the trade is in. So I'm going to walk you through how to set it up here in the client portal, which is their web-based platform. And I'll also walk you through how to set it up in the Street Smart Edge, which is a little bit fancier. And it looks like this. So I have all my positions in here, and there's the ANTM right there with some options. So let's go ahead and start with the simple one, right? Let's look at something that's a little bit easier to follow. But before we dive into four-legged options or a custom strategy, let's just talk about a stock. For example, I did end up buying SLV last week, and I'll show you how I did that. So if I come into my trade tab right here, I'm just going to go to trade. Now, one thing that's also very nice about Schwab is they're one of the few brokers out there for U.S. traders that allow you to trade slices or fractional shares. One thing that Robinhood really did that I think was an awesome service is that you can trade partial and fractional shares. Not every broker does that. In fact, it's interesting that Schwab owns TD Ameritrade, but you can't do fractional shares with TD Ameritrade, but you can do it with Schwab. So you can't do all stocks with these stock slices, but you can do most of them. So if I go into Schwab stock slices, let's take a look. They have the entire list right here, so don't show me this tour again. You have all these different sectors. If you're looking at something in particular, you can just search the ticker. Let's go into, let's say, Tesla. Okay, just a popular one. And can you buy fractional shares of Tesla? You can. So if you don't have $718.99 to buy one share of Tesla, you can buy it for $100 and you can get whatever that slice is. Let's go to Microsoft. Can you get Microsoft? Yep. How about the FANG stocks? How about Facebook? Yep. How about Apple? Yep. How about the SPY? That is a big no. N-O on the SPY. How about the QQQ? That is also a no. How about the DIA? These are the US, ETFs that I follow really closely. DIA. Okay, the Dow Jones. Can't buy it. That's okay. Why do I even bring those up? Well, if you've heard of Warren Buffett, he just talked about put money into US index and let it grow. Annualized, they're between 7, 8, 9% a year between the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ, some higher than others. They're not always going to be winning years, but annualized over time, long-term investors, that's a pretty good way to make consistent gains. Now, can you beat the market? That's my job. As a trader, I want to beat the market every single year, which is pretty cool. But to keep it really simple, not worry about timing the market, tops and bottoms, are we in a bull market, a bear market? If you just consistently add money. Look at 2020, for example. When the COVID crash happened in February and March and everything was dropping 20, 30, 40%, if you just still had the patience, right, had the discipline to put consistent money in and invest every single month, you could cost average in as the market is dropping, okay, which all becomes positive as the market rallies and takes out those highs. As the market is going up in your favor, you keep adding to that, and that investment is worth more and more and more. So, long term, if we're looking at these U.S. stock markets, U.S. indices to go higher and higher over time, even if they go sideways, at some point, if we go sideways and we break those highs eventually, that's a long-term investment. Is it the best way to trade? No, but it's simple. Not everybody wants to be a full-time trader. I get it. Okay, but if you're looking at some stock slices, if you're looking at some fractional shares, like I said, not all US brokers offer this, and I love it. So 503 stocks available here for Charles Schwab, and you can look at all of them. So page one of whatever in alphabetical order, or you can just simply think, oh, I like that company. I want to see if they have it. And you can type it in to see, is that ticker available? If so, you can buy it for a fractional amount. So it's pretty nice to kind of think about that from a portfolio standpoint. If I didn't have, $1,000 to buy something, or if I didn't have $3,000 to buy Amazon, I could say that my $100 is good enough to buy a slice of Amazon and have some ownership and still grow that $100. So it's at least a starting point, which I think is really cool for this kind of new breed and new generation of traders because, in all reality, trading should be fairly inclusive. The retail trader has a lot of tools, a lot of research, a lot of information now at your fingertips, great technology, great broker platforms, and pretty inexpensive trading opportunities, right? I mean, free commissions, near zero commissions. That's really good trading for the retail trader. Okay, I digress. So we have the slivers as one option, which is very cool for Schwab. I'm going to give a big thumbs up to that. Speaking of thumbs up, you can click that thumbs up button on this video. Shameless plug. Going into the trade, if I didn't have one that was exactly a slice, but I wanted to see how do I trade a stock. Okay, let's go into stocks. So, for example, last week I bought SLV. I've been following silver pretty closely. I have a pending buy also in GOLD. So if I type in SLV, and currently it's trading at $23.96, let's take a look at a chart really quickly. And let's find a spot that we could buy SLV at. So I'm going to get into my charting platform here and set this up for SLV. Let me go into a daily chart. And this is SLV. I've been eyeing this one pretty closely. I'm looking at a pending order at $21. All right, so that yearly pivot is right there at $21. I would love to buy SLV at 21.05. I can go into my Schwab client portal, go to SLV. I'm going to buy this, and let's say I'm going to go for 100 shares. And right now, it's the market order is $23.96. I'm currently doing the video. It's after market hours. Now, this broker, Schwab, actually does let you trade post-market and somewhat pre-market. I believe my window to trade is 7 a.m. Eastern time, and I have until like 8 p.m. Eastern time. So even if it's pre-market, post-market, I can still get filled. The one thing you have to be aware of is the ask price. Sometimes the spreads are much higher around the market close, around the market open, or after market hours. The ask or the spreads can be much, much higher. So if you're setting a limit order, that means that if price drops to $21, I want to get filled on that. All right, so I can go ahead and do that here. 100 shares at $21. So there's my limit order at 21.05. Okay, and that way my ask, and this is what's going to happen. If my ask price is 21.05, I will get filled on SLV for 100 shares. Right, and so if I did it for today, it's already post-market. That's not going to work. I would go good till canceled, and this is going to be good for 60 calendar days. Now, this would cost me $21.05. Now, one thing I also like to check on most of the stocks that I'm planning on holding for, several months to several years to forever, I'd like to reinvest those dividends, right? So if the company offers quarterly dividends, biannual or annual dividends, I just like to take that little fraction, throw it right back in the stock price. There are some pretty amazing stories about dividend reinvestments and compounding gains and growth over time. You can look at Walmart, about 50 years ago. You can look at Tesla for the last 10 years. You can look at Apple with reverse stock splits. I mean, it'd be amazing. But if you're planning on holding companies long term, I would say it's critical and a no-brainer to reinvest those dividends. So I'd like to check that. If I want to review the order, this is, again, buying SLV at 21.05. I'll show you the chart here in just a moment. Good till canceled, reinvest in the dividends. I can review that order. If I have this trade, so let's just talk about the technicals. If this goes down to up, let's say I get filled at 21.05 and my profit level here just on this trade is $27. That's not a bad chunk. Let's do the math on that. So $27 minus 21.05, which is my entry, is $5.95. So divide that by 21.05, which is my entry. And that would be a 28.2% profit. If I times that by the 21.05, that's my total price, right? Because I'm paying $2,105. I'm looking at a $595 return on that investment. Not too shabby. Obviously, if I had, $10,000 in it, then it's 28% of that. Then I'm making $2,800 on that. So anyways, doing some simple math on that, but I like the trade. So it looks good if I want to take it. It's going to cost me $2,105. I'll reinvest the dividends. It's good for 60 days in my broker platform. I'll click review. And I have to acknowledge that this is during a standard session. That is fine. And it's not even close to price anyway, so 2105 and place order. And it's in. So now my SLV at 100 shares, 2105 is my limit buy, good till cancel for 60 days. It is in there. If I want to check it out, I'll check my order status and see that it was received. And so this is right here. So I have my 2110. I've got a buy level right there, and I also have my 100 shares at 2105. So that's SLV. That's just buying a simple stock or an ETF or whatever it is. Pretty simple stuff. Go into trade stock, and check it out. You could also go into extended hours, and you can see if you wanted to get super active, pre-market, post-market, you can do those extended hours as well. Like I said, just watch the ask price. Okay, now let's talk about some options on this platform. If we go into stocks and ETFs, we were just there. We can go into options. The way that I like to do this is by going to the options chain. So if I'm going to trade options, I want to know what I'm trading. So I'm typically trading earnings plays. I'm typically trading, oversold conditions, looking to buy. But I typically trade vertical put spreads, whether it's a bull call spread or bull put spread. I like to trade earnings straddles, things like that. Keep it pretty simple. I kind of actively manage those option trades, but they're pretty nice for, 1 to 2 weeks, making some steady income. So options chains, I'll actually give you a trade that we took today in my Equities on Demand class. ANTM was the symbol, Anthem Inc., and there's an earnings report that is tomorrow morning. So as I'm doing this video on a Monday, Tuesday morning before market open is ANTM's earnings. And we're looking at whether price goes up or down based on post earnings. We'll see what it does. So we have this strategy set up. And let me check. I actually have my legs in already, so I'll just review that. And I'll show you how to do this inside the Schwab web platform. And then I'll walk you through the Street Smart Edge. Okay, like I said, I actually take most of my trades, especially with the options trades, I take most of my trades inside the web platform, and then I manage most of my trades with the Street Smart Edge. So it's a nice little combination for me to manage my trades. All right, so I set this one up. We have the all strikes. I'm looking at the expiration for April 30th as I was doing this one, so I don't need that expiration. I'm going to April 30th. Price today was around $385, so that's going to be my at-the-money put and at-the-money call. So I did at-the-money put, I did at-the-money call. If you are unfamiliar with the options chain, I do this in most of the broker videos. They all kind of look the same. Typically, you have your strike price in the middle, you have your puts on the right side, you have your calls on the left side, and then you're either trading them or selecting what they are. So because this is a multi-leg option strategy, I'm going to select my call at 385. I'm going to select my put at 385, and then I'm going to bracket that. So to the upside, I believe we had this at 410 to the upside. So 410 is going to be a call that I sell, and then at 365, that is a put that I sell. And so this is the trade right here. So my at the money call and put, I'm going to buy to open. My at the money put is a buy to open. My 365 put is a sell to open. And my 410 call is a sell to open. Now, I actually did get filled on this trade at a debit of $14. And I'll show you that in a minute. But I took this trade earlier in the day. And to set it up, I've got the legs in that I want. I don't want to pay $16.70 for this. I want to pay less. So the way I took this trade is I clicked on trade. It gives me all the legs right here. And then I put in a limit debit at $14. And I did that for the day because I was trading on Monday and earnings was Tuesday morning. So I technically had Monday's trading day to get filled on it, and I was able to get filled at $1,400 on the trade. Tomorrow morning, if it goes my way, I'm hoping that this $1,400 can become probably $1,600 to $1,800. So, looking at a $200 to $400 profit on this trade, maybe in the next 24 to 48 hours, that would be excellent. And all I need is a little catalyst, and that is the earnings report. So whether price goes up or down or even sideways, this trade should be able to generate some profit. All right, so that is in. If I want to place a trade, I can, but I already did. So I'm going to show you what that looks like on the Street Smart Edge platform. And let's take a look at that one. Let's do the same thing. Let's actually go into Street Smart Edge. I'll show you how to buy SLV, and let's go into the options chain and get this one priced out. So I don't need to take this trade in the web portal because I already did that. But you can see that in the Street Smart Edge, you can see that I have my 4 legs right here. So ANTM, I'm in all 4 of those option legs. Now, this is what's pretty cool. I can just watch this entire position. So when the earnings comes out pre-market and Wall Street opens at 9:30, this P&L is going to be fluctuating quite a bit. And my hope is that this P&L is nicely positive. And so when I am in this trade, I can go ahead and right-click and close. And as this is fluctuating, if I wanted to close just the call side, well, I can say, let's say that price goes up in earnings tomorrow and the call side is trading for a nice profit. Well, I can go ahead and minimize my put side and see what the call side is trading for and take that net credit on the call side, right? Let's say that the earnings is negative and it goes down. Well, then I will do the same thing, but do the put side. So I go in to try to close my trade. I would eliminate my call side for right now and eliminate the calls right there. So it'd just be the put side. And I would be able to see that credit of $6.20. Now that's right now, I'm looking at a credit minimum of around $15. So there's still some movement that needs to happen with tomorrow's earnings. That is fine. But I can manage, just the put side or just the call side, and it's actually very simple. If I want to put in the limit credit, like I said, $15 would be great. So $15, I can put that in for good till canceled. And with tomorrow's price action, if my put side gets to $15 between these option prices, it will close me out automatically at $15. If the call side, let's go back here, I'll do it again. If I want to close the trade and I just want to close the call side, I can minimize the, fudge, I did it wrong. Let's try it again. If I minimize the put side, so let's get rid of the puts. And if I want to do the call side, let's say I wanted that $15 limit credit on the call side, good till canceled. Review the order, and that way if my call side gets into $15 or higher, it will close me out for profit. The total straddle, right? We already have a profit target set at around $18. So I believe I already set that up. Let me go into order status and double check. I think I did this earlier. So there's my custom level at $18. So if my $14 debit is filled for an $18 credit, that's going to be a $400 profit. So $400 divided by 1,400 would be about a 28.5% profit on that position. And if I could do that in 1 to 2 days, that would be fantastic for ANTM. So as far as managing my trades, I love to take them. It's really simple to follow that web-based platform. When I see all the options trades in here, like I'm in BBBY for call side, I'm in BLNK for put sides, DDD, I'm in that for a put side as well. So these are vertical put spreads. I'm in an IBM options trade as well. Looking at, I closed out one leg of my, this was my call side. I had 2 contracts running. I closed one of them down. I'm going to evaluate this one for the next couple of days. But I did collect a few bucks on this one. So if it shows you, so I collected about $314 there on IBM, minus the 26, so like 290 bucks. And then I had some Citigroup that I also collected. So on the day, it was like $300, which I'll take. That's an awesome day. Hopefully there's more to come for the week, and for the week maybe generate a couple $1,000s. All right. But it's really nice to manage the positions here, because what I do is when I like the trade, if I want to set it up to take my profit, I can just right click, close the entire position, especially with an option trade. I can set it up for my limit debit or my limit credit right there, and I can tell the broker what price I want to get out at. And so it's nice to set those levels where if you're at this price level, close me out, take my profit, and execute my trades. Okay, also at a glance, I can just scroll down and monitor all of my positions. All right, so let's go into SLV, let's go into ANTM. I'll set up the same trade now and use this platform. And full disclosure, I've never actually used this platform to set up an options trade, but I think I can figure it out. Okay, a lot of these platforms are very similar, so let's see if I can do it. So let's go to trade right here, and then I'll look at SLV. So let's put in that limit buy in SLV at 21.05. So you can see that there's a lot of widgets here. There's a lot of tabs. I have this news one, breaking news, newswatch, briefing.com. Cool, it's a widget. Do I care about this? If I did, I would populate it. This is my trading window. If I want to type in SLV, okay, there's my symbol right there. So SLV. Now, do you remember what price I want to get in at? 21.05. So if I went to trade, buy, it pops up a little order window. If I wanted to buy 100 shares, Okay, and I would just do smart. I'm not doing after hours or pre-market, depending on the spread and the ask and all that stuff. So I'll just keep it smart. I'll go to a limit order, set this one up at 21.05, and I'll go good till canceled. I will reinvest dividends. And once this trade is in, if I wanted to bracket this in any way with a profit exit, let's say that my profit exit gets up to a percentage. Okay, if I had 28% profit on that position, you know that that's going to be about a $27 stock price. Okay, see how it says estimated price 26.94? So let's go 28.5. I can't get a decimal. Let's go 29. 27. Okay, so I'm going to stick to the 28%, and that's just shy of that $27 exit. So I can go a percentage exit. If I want to do a dollar amount or a price amount, I can do $27 in price. So if stock price is at $27 exactly, then that will be my condition to exit the trade at profit, just like we looked at on the chart. If I want to use a trailing stop loss, I can do that as well. I typically don't issue trailing stop losses till I'm in profit and let that thing trail by about 15 to 25%. A lot of trailing stop losses over the years have helped me, stay in the trade, maintain some buffer, and if price continues to go higher, my trailing stop continues to go with it and allow me to keep letting those profits run. Okay. If I don't want to use a profit exit right now, no worries. I just go in and place a trade. So I'd review the order, place a trade. It would be 100 shares of SLV at 21.05 for the next 60 days until this executes. If it doesn't execute, then I'll have to go back in and issue this trade again. But I can review the order and place it right here on my platform. All right, so now let's go into the options chain, and I'll set up that ANTM earnings play. So in the trade tab, there was actually a news widget that popped up over this, but I'm going to go ahead and expand this tab right here. So what I'm looking for ANTM is I'm looking for my strike prices. So I've got calls and puts on the options chain. And I have my calls and puts. If I just want to do calls only, just do puts only. If I knew the name of my strategy, like a vertical put spread, or if I'm doing a butterfly or an iron condor or a custom strategy, I can select those in here. Okay, now actually a really easy way to do this is if you know the legs of your trade, you can just set this up right here in this little midsection. So if I'm going to buy the ANTM call and also buy the put, I can just add these legs to my trade. So I'm going to go ahead and add the 4 legs right here, and I can set it up with my expiration, my strike price, the type of trade, which is a call and put, and see what it actually would cost me, whether it's a net debit or a net credit. So if you remember the metrics, we had a buy to open, the expiration was 4:30, and this was a 385, and that was a call, and then a buy to open, 4:30 expiration, 385 put right there. And then we had it bracketed to the downside at 365 and then 410. So I would sell to open and then sell to open. This would be 4:30 expiration. The call side would be at 410, and I would sell that call. And then my 365, let's go to 365 right here, and that would be my put right there. So now I have the 4 legs to my options strategy. This is essentially an iron condor where I have my at the money call and put. I sell the call, I sell the put, and that's my trade ready for tomorrow's catalyst, which is the earnings report. Now the limit debit, we tried to get filled at $14. And I did that one for the particular day. Sometimes I'll set this trade up in our equities on demand class. We'll set this up to have a good till canceled, and we'll set this up for a couple of days. We try not to get too far ahead of earnings, simply because we might have some price fluctuations prior to earnings that we have to look to roll in some of the high side or the low side, or maybe our at the money is now $2 or $3 off. So we try to set this up within maybe 1 to 2 days of our earnings report. And let that news come to us and try to get a good fill on it. The closer you get to that earnings report, though, the more expensive these stocks tend to get. So it is kind of a balance of, if it fills, great. If it doesn't, that's okay. We'll go find another trade. But, in the heart of earnings season, there are plenty of trades out there. As long as the numbers work, we like to take them. So all in all, I'll say that it wasn't too bad, right? I mean, you come into the web platform, really easy to use, but honestly, this is the first time that I've walked through the Street Smart Edge using the options chain because it was just so much more intuitive on the other one. But now I figured it out. So it's not that hard. So if you're just using the Street Smart Edge, it's pretty straightforward. If you know those, custom legs or know how to set up those legs of the trade for whatever strategy it is. If you would like to see something a little bit more, maybe simple to follow, use a web platform. But like I said, my review of Charles Schwab is 2 thumbs up, because from coming into Robinhood, Webull, TD Ameritrade, which I've used for years and years and years. I've had Robinhood for the last 3 or 4 years. I removed a lot of money from Robinhood after everything happened in January 2021 with GameStop. And that's, no discredit to Robinhood, but they really lost a lot of goodwill. I was frozen out of that platform. I did notice also, the more I've been trading options, that it's all about option pricing, and it's all about managing those options. So when I place trades, I want to get filled at my direct debit at a certain price. I want to get filled at my credit at a certain price. I can't do that on Robinhood and Webull. You'll actually see that in another one of these videos when I review those platforms, because I think they're great. I think that it's awesome to trade on your phone if you know what you're doing. But to just place a trade and think like, oh, this is fun. This is real money, right? This is real money. This is an acquired skill. So don't take this lightly. There's always risk in trading. So let's know what we're doing. Let's try to buy undervalued option prices, and let's try to sell those premiums. Okay? Or buy low and sell high. We know the deal. So anyway, like I said, 2 thumbs up for Charles Schwab. I will review other platforms. If you'd like to see more, let me know. Leave me a comment. Smash that like button. I appreciate all the comments. And look forward to seeing you in my next video for this playlist, which is how to use a broker platform, or you can check out my Keep It Seriously Simple video series. If you're following me out there on good old social media, that would be right in here. There you go, Chris Pulver, youtube.com/Chris Pulver, or Chris Pulver Trading on Facebook. And more videos come in, playlist from trading indicators A to Z, to Keep It Seriously Simple, to now how to use a broker platform. All right, so appreciate the thumbs up in the comments, everybody. Take care. I'll see you in the next video. Talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.